What is going on, everybody? Yuki5 here, and I'm here with a question for you guys. Can Kozmo be a future contender for a tier 1 deck? Now, I ask this question because I personally feel that Cosmos can become a tier 1 deck in the future. But of course, it all depends on the ban list, as well as future cards that come out to help support the deck directly by actual archetype support, as well as possible cards that can support the deck with indirect support, with some old cards or some future cards. But I can't just come here and just say that I feel this deck is on the tier 1 and just call it video, because that'd be kind of pointless. And, I kind of have to try to back up my thoughts with some personal facts. So anyway, to start things off, we're going to look at the individual 5 cards right now that the Cosmos actually have, as well as look into different tech cards you can use in the deck as of right now, and what they can actually economically do to bring to the deck to help make it more consistent, outside of bringing more monsters, of course, but make the deck more consistent and to allow it to kind of do what it likes to do, which is basically try to kill your opponent as fast as you possibly can. Now, one of the things that I found very interesting right here off the bat, before we get into it, is that the Cosmos have their origins, of course, Wizard of Oz and Star Wars, which I find it to be pretty cool. So, the origins is the Cosmo Farm Girl, or it's of course Dorothy Gale, but also from Star Wars is Anakin and Luke Skywalker, which I think you can kind of easily tell with the green lightsaber. The Forerunner is Silver Shoes and the Millennium Falcon, which I find to be pretty freaking cool. The Polly, which is the Good Witch, which is Qui-Gon Jinn in Good Witch of the North. Spaceship is the Ruby Slippers, and is the X-Wing Starfighter, and the Cosmo Town is the Emerald City and Coruscant, which I think is a pretty freaking cool little reference there, of course. But we already knew it was Star Wars and freaking Wizard of Oz. But anyway, let's get started. We're going to start off with Farm Girl, which is, of course, Dorothy, if you couldn't tell by the picture anyway. She is level 3, psychic with 1500 attack and 1000 defense. During either player's turn, you can banish this card and special 1 level 4 or higher Cosmo monster from your hand. You can only use the effect of Cosmo Farm Girl once per turn. When this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you can pay 500 life points to add 1 Cosmo card from your deck. She's the basic Stratos. Now, the biggest thing is the fact that each of these cards have a cost. But the biggest thing is that these cards, which have a cost, don't have a major cost. It's not like some morning where you pay $2,000 just to go ahead, or not $2,000, but 2,000 life points just to negate something. Whereas this is pay 500 life points and you can add a card from your deck to your hand. Now, this isn't a really big deal due to the fact that there are a lot of ways to recover your life points in this deck, from outside support and support in the entire archetype that we have right now. So it really makes up for the end. Then next is the Cosmo Good Witch, which basically has 1800 attack, 1000 defense, and is level 4. And during either player's turn, you can banish this card and special 1 level 5 or higher Cosmo monster from your hand. You can only use the effect once per turn. And once per turn, you can pay 500 life points and target one face-up monster opponent controls and change the face-down defense position. Now, you kind of see a trend here when it comes to the psychics. Any of them can do it in either player's turn, which makes them a quick effect. And also, they can special summon monsters that are higher than them. So, since Farm Girl is level 3, level 4 or higher. Level 4 monsters, level 5 or higher. It's going to be the basic trend. So, as we get more levels in terms of the psychics, you can basically kind of chain them, which is basically what you want to try to do as is. Now again, you got the minuscule cost of 500 life points just to basically Pokemoodle monster. Again, that's not that big of a deal due to the fact that you can easily regain your life points. Let's keep this going with the X-Wing, Cosmo Slip Rider. It's a level 5 machine with 2300 attack and 800 defense. If it is normal or special summoned, you can target one spell trap card on the field and destroy it. If this card is destroyed by battle or a card effect enters into the graveyard, you can banish this card from your graveyard and special summon 1 level 4 or lower Cosmo monster from your deck. Now, you can already see where this is going. You have 2 monsters and future monsters that can special summon these big monsters from your hand, and when they're destroyed, you can toolbox your way to another one, continuing in the cycle. So basically, it's one big toolbox deck that can easily continue to take advantage. Kind of seem familiar? It's kind of like a Burning Abyss vibe here, if you kind of get what I'm going at here. But with more bigger monsters in the main deck. Next up, of course, we have the Kozmo Forerunner, which is level 7, 2800 attack, and 1400 defense. And I love the artwork. It's definitely Millennium Falcon, but a lot more badass. I gotta admit. Sunbrider looks more of a X-Wing, and this one looks more. And this one looks like a Millennium Falcon. But anyway. So, cannot be targeted by opponent's card effects, and during your standby phase, you gain 1,000 life points. So you already have a way to gain back those life points that you've already lost by Forerunner, which is one of your really biggest cards. And of course, like Slip Rider, if you use a strong advance into the graveyard, you can special summon a level 6 or lower Kozmo monster from your deck. So, yeah, there is a trend with the machines as well, the spaceships. Your Kozmo like monsters, the psychics, can special summon like level 4 or higher permanent monsters that are one level higher and above from your hand. Whereas the spaceships, you know, your Forerunner, your Slip Rider, and whatever one you get, which I hope there's a Death Star. Please bring a Death Star Konami, that would be freaking awesome. Can summon monsters that are lower than them, which is a really cool effect. And it allows for a lot of crazy little shenanigans, really. So basically summoning up Slip Rider with Forerunner and just destroying stuff is actually really cool. And next up we have the final card in the actual archetype, which is Kozmo Town, which is a really good field spell and helps the deck a lot. Once you return, you can target one of your banner's Kozmo monsters and return to the hand. If you do, lose life points equal to the original level times 100. Again, you see this very low cost theme that's going on. The most expensive monster to get back would be Forerunner, which is level 7. So the most you're taking in this game really is 700 points damage just as cost, which you can get it back in your standby phase by like 700 and then extra 300 for that 1,000. So it's not much of a cost. And once you return, you can reveal any number of Kozmo monsters in your hand and shuffle them to the deck. Then draw cards equal to the number of cards you shuffle to the deck. It has like ability to the hand. And if it is sent from the field zone by a card effect, you can to the graveyard by a card effect. Actually, not have to be a graveyard. If this card is sent from in the field zone, it's destroyed by a card effect. You can add one Kozmo card from the deck to the hand. More recyclability, more toolboxing, more adding. This is one of the reasons why I feel the deck could definitely become a potential future tier 1 deck. Because not only can the deck just kind of toolbox the way to victory by using Slip Rider and Forerunner and future little spaceship-esque like monsters, you can automatically just summon these guys with the Kozmo Farm Girl, Kozmo Good Witch, and just kind of chain them together. So like attack a Farm Girl, search out like Good Witch, banish a Farm Girl, summon Good Witch, attack with Good Witch. If you have like a Slip Rider Forerunner in hand, you can banish a Good Witch, summon Slip Rider Forerunner. Attack for even more damage, and if they get destroyed, then oh well, you get another monster from your deck, and with Kozmo Town to be able to add these guys back to your hand, and take a minuscule amount of damage is really not that bad. So before I get on to the real text that you can actually use in the deck to help out the deck, as of right now, because these could be irrelevant in the future, but this is as of right now what you can do. What are some cards, what are some things Konami can do to bring you to the Cosmos that can allow the deck to flourish even more? And outside of banless banners, like, oh, hit Burning Abyss and hit this, outside of that, because banless is obvious, you know, the banless helps pretty much dictate what decks are going to, it really helps dictate what decks are really going to flourish and all, but basically, one of the biggest thing the deck does need is a form of recyclability, sort of like a pot of avarice. Kozmo Town does allow this to happen, but the problem is it's only a 1 card. And one of the things I found problems with the deck while testing the deck is you can burn through your Cosmos quite fast, and once they're all banished, you're kind of in shit luck. Now, I know the idea of the deck is to kind of hit your opponent hard and fast and beat them as fast as you possibly can. But there may be times when you not be able to do that, due to the fact that you may be playing against a stall deck, or your opponent may have a lot of traps, cuts, and TCG, you're not unfortunate to have a Heavy Storm or Harpy's Feather Duster. May they come back next list, I really hope so. That makes the deck more fucking powerful as is, but since we lack that, there may be times where your opponent may have answers to your plays, and you may have to play the grind game, and this deck itself is not really good at playing the grind game. So giving sort of like a pot of avarice, like, hey, you can return like 3 of your banished Cosmos to the deck, draw 1 card, something like that, will help you play the grind game a little bit more. And of course, adding more monsters in the mix will help it out a lot due to the fact that, you'll have more monsters you can target with your Slip Riders and Farm Girls and Cosmo Towns and stuff like that. That will allow it to flourish as well. Other things I'd like to see from the deck, maybe an Exceed or Sink or something like that. Something to go with the extra deck. I don't know, I think it would be kind of cool. Because you can already sort of do that with different things, which I'll talk about in the text part of this video, which should be coming up quite soon. But like I said, the main thing is your stackability. It lacks that, which is kind of a downside to it right now, and I think still in the future. And again, this could all change in the future. They may get it, they may get something even better. They may not need recyclability. But anyway, let's go ahead and talk about some of the tech cards you can actually use in the deck. Okay, here are some actual text you can run the deck as right now. Now, this could definitely change in the future because future cards can come out for indirect support, as well as cards can come out for the archetype that will become maybe better cards than these cards right now. But again, there's only 5 cards for the archetype as of right now, so you kind of have to try it out. But some of these cards can still become very good text in my opinion, and the future can help make the deck even more better and a little bit more trollish. So to get some of the obvious cards out the way, such as Emergency Teleport and Serene Psychic Witch, 2 cards that are very good on the deck. Emergency Teleport gets you your Farm Girl, so you can start your shenanigans going. And Serene Psychic Witch can banish a Farm Girl or your Good Witch and special room during your next standby phase. And even Konami knows this because they're being reprinted and the speed pack thing with the whole Speedroid stuff, which it's an interesting deck. It really is. So I want to get the obvious cards out the way. So tech number 3 is Soul Absorption, a very, very old card. And to be honest, it's a pretty decent and good card in the deck. Basically, if cards are banished, you gain 500 life points. That's it. And you're going to be constantly banishing things. Your Cosmo Good Witch and Farm Girls be banished, special summon. Your Forerunner and Step Rider are gonna be banished for their effects. Hell, you banish them for Serene Psychic Witch, and if something's banished with the all-powerful freaking Mercy Teleport, you get 500 life points. After being multiple, you get 500, 1,000, and even 1,500 life points. This is a good way to really recover life points, the minuscule loss in life points you've lost with using the Cosmo monsters. Mainly, like your Psychic monsters, as well as the Cosmo Town field spell. So that's actually a really cool little thing, and it's something that your opponent's going to want to take care of because you're going to be gaining a lot of life points, especially if you can easily loot Farm Girl and Good Witch together. You're going to be gaining like 1,000 life points, and like a turn pretty much during that turn, or maybe 2,000 if you have 2 up on the field, because it's not once per turn, it's just whenever. So it's a pretty cool little continuous spell card which I like. Next up is Ghost over Snow Rabbit. This is a little bit expensive card, I will have to admit. But it's a tuner, it's light, and it just goes with the theme so well. And the fact it has good utility in the deck, due to the fact that it likes to special summon, and you can stop annoying shit. Now, with the Gen Lock pretty much gone now, thanks to the list, I feel Ghost over Snow Rabbit might drop in price even more, due to the fact that its main use was to fuck over the Gen Lock. And Necro, you activate the effect, Ghost over Snow Rabbit, I destroy you and now the Gen Lock is broken. That's the reason the thing really was used. But it's level 3 tuner that you can send from your hand as well to the graveyard to pretty much destroy annoying threats. Another card you can use is Second Commander, which is another level 3 monster, but that really goes into line with the next card you can use in the extra deck to help utilize Cosmo Town even more. Which is, of course, the Ancient Fairy Dragon. Yes, this thing. Ancient Fairy Dragon. Yay. Don't ask. Anyway, why is this card pretty good? The last time this card seen play was during the whole GNXI Bourbon, Divine Wind of Mist Valley, OTK, FTK. That was pretty much the whole gist of it. But this thing can actually be useful in the deck because it has a little known effect of once per turn it can destroy as many field spells on the field as possible, and if you do, gain 1,000 life points, then you can add 1 field spell card from your deck to your hand. Now, this is good due to the fact that you gain 1,000 life points, you can destroy Cosmo Town, and then get to add. And possibly get to add another field spell, another Cosmo Town. or some other field spells, which I'll talk to you about in a second. It's just a way to recover your life points and be able to utilize your Cosmo even more. Another way you can use it, which I actually noticed I forgot to put on here, so I'll make a note of it, is Double Cyclone. Which, again, is a card that hasn't seen play since the whole Artifact days, when Artifacts were all the rage. Because now all these kids have these damn Necros and Burning Abyss. Well, back in my day, we had Necro. We had freaking Artifact and Double Cyclone shit. That, we had that shit. That back in my fucking day. Even though I was in the game a lot longer than that shit. But anyway. So Double Cyclone is another good card to actually use in the deck. Due to the fact that, again, you can utilize your field spell a lot more. Destroy, get a free search, and just call it a day. Now, one of the cool cards that I always forget to put in my decks. I always do. It's like one of those. It's like I always forget a card. But the Moon Mirror Shield. Now, a lot of people talk about how this card came late, but it came just in time for the Cosmos. It's a good card for Glass, but even better one for the Cosmos, because the equipped monster, during damage calculation, gains attack and defense. His attack and defense becoming equal to the attack and defense of whichever is higher of the opponent's battling monster plus 100. So during damage calculation only. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can pay 500 life points. Again, very minuscule compared to what you'll be getting from the deck, especially using Soul Absorption to place it on the top or bottom of your deck, so you can redraw it if you saw it plays next turn. Pretty freaking cool in my opinion, especially a deck that can easily special on a lot of monsters. Put it back top of your deck, you now can easily Shenanigans with Forerunner and Slip Rider. It's actually pretty cool, and it's a nice little addition to be putting in your deck. Now the final one I'm actually going to be talking about right now, because I've got other things I gotta fucking do, because I could literally just continue to go over a bunch of fucking tech cards in the damn deck, but I've got other things. We got Pseudospace, which is being known and recognized across the world for the chicken game, or I guess now called Chicken Race, Exodia OTK FTK deck, which will not be surprised, Chicken Race becomes a secret rare because of all these people playing this shit, because you know what Konami is, hype up a card, it's now secret rare and $50 plus fucking dollars. That's how it is. Anyway, for the rare, if you don't know what Pseudospace does, once per turn you can move and play one field spell card in your graveyard to have this card be treated as that card and gain the same effects until the end phase. Basically, you can just use this to recycle your hand. You can add a card back to your hand. But the problem is, when it gets destroyed, it'll be destroyed as hit the graveyard Pseudospace, so you won't get the search if you banish Kozmo Town. But that's kind of the big thing there. Just banish Kozmo Town, and there you go. You now have a free Kozmo Town, and you earn since you're playing 6 Kozmo Towns. Another field spell you can possibly play, which I wouldn't highly recommend, but if you really want, you could run Chicken Race. If you want to pay 1,000 to draw a card, and with the deck, especially in the future, you can easily gain that back with things like Ancient Fairy Dragon, Soul Absorption, and your Forerunner. So it's not that big of a deal. But I would recommend the Pseudospace a little bit more, due to the fact that you have a lot more things you can do with it, which is actually pretty cool. Activate your Kozmo Town, destroy with Pseudospace, add a card to your hand, Pseudospace effect, banish Kozmo Town, and add one of your banished Cosmo monsters to banish onto your hand, which is a pretty cool little thing to actually do. But that's all the tech cards I have for right now. I know there's more. There's a lot more you can use the deck, but that's all I'm going to talk about right now. So I'm probably going to talk about more in the future as the deck gets more monsters and more smart cards in general. That's when I'll go over more tech cards you can run in the deck, because as I get more tech cards are going to pop up in the future. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and what are your thoughts on Cosmos? Do you think it could potentially become a tier 1 deck in the future? I'm not saying it'll be right now, because I don't think they have enough, in my opinion, they don't have enough to right now to really become tier 1. But I feel like if Konami really gives them good support, and continues to really make them flourish, I feel like it could become a tier 1 deck, and one of the decks to beat in the next couple of packs. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!